From the bottom to the back, chasing it your whole life. More than the game.
Hey everybody, welcome to More Than the Game. I am here with my long friend now, Daric Barton. I am Casey Chavez, and we are here going to host a podcast about the game of baseball.
And more.
And life and youth and how it impacts families, how it's played today, you name it. Real quick, Daric and I have this thing that we do when we see each other. DB! Whether that was in the clubhouse back in the day.
Anywhere we would see each other.
Anywhere we would see each other.
Multiple times a day.
So welcome everybody. This is our first ever live episode from our first ever podcast room. And today with Daric, I'm actually going to turn the topic onto him and his life and his playing career. So there's a few things that I learned about you the other night that I didn't know. I was telling you that. One of them is your middle name. I turned to my wife, Abby, and I said, did you know that Daric, well, we got to confirm this, right? Because all this is out there on the internet.
Hypothetical.
Did you know that his middle name is Daric William Barton? Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, my grandfather's name is William. And so naturally, I think a family name usually, sticks with at least one of the kids. And I'm the one that got that name, and it means a lot more now than it did when I was a kid, right? I hated it as a kid, but
now you see the honor in it.
I do, because my grandfather never got to see me play past high school.
Okay.
So It means a lot more now than it did.
All right, that's a good name, dude. I love it. So you were born in Vermont. I didn't know that.
Yes, I was.
But you're a SoCal guy.
Yeah.
Huntington Beach.
Yeah, I grew up in Huntington Beach. I was born in Vermont. Mom, they were living outside of Vermont, and then when she got pregnant, I have an older sister, and so they needed help with my older sister, so they flew back to Vermont, where my grandparents owned a restaurant.
Oh, and, wait. What type of restaurant? Wait a minute.
I mean, it was called The Paddock in Springfield. I believe it was Springfield, Vermont.
Springfield, Vermont is what it says here.
That's where I was born. It's a really small town.
Okay.
And it's still a small town. And so they moved back there to get help with my sister while my mom was pregnant. And I think it was 6 or 8 weeks old after I was born.
Right back.
Shipped back out to California.
So you just made a quick little trip. You don't even remember.
I don't say I'm from there. Even though I'm pale and I don't look like I'm from SoCal, I'm definitely from SoCal.
You're definitely. You still are. So there's a few things, dude. I've known you for a while. And we've had a lot of these conversations over the past, I would say, decade, right? Where I even told you off air right now, I don't think you give yourself enough credit for what you've accomplished in your career. Now, I don't think you feel that you accomplished what you felt like you should have accomplished. I will give you that. But however, I also don't think you give yourself enough credit. So here's some things I learned about you. And here's what others have said about you that has been gathered by the internet, okay? That you were one of the top prep hitters in the country. You stood out because of, now this has been true everywhere you've gone. I saw this. Your advanced plate discipline, mature understanding of the strike zone, and ability to hit for both average and power with a calm, polished offensive approach. You in high school, you hit 372 with 10 homers. Is that right? Sound about right?
Sounds about right.
And you became one of the premier catching prospects in the nation.
Which could be debatable. All right. First high school, I was playing third base as a freshman. Why? Well, the coach's son was a catcher.
Oh, coach's kid. Here we go. Daddy ball.
Okay. Got kicked off that team my sophomore year. Won't get into that because it was not justified. Transferred to the new school. Coach's son was catcher there.
Another coach's kid.
So then I played the corners. So how they can say that, it's debatable. Although I did go to workouts as a catcher. Area code games was like...
Got drafted as a catcher?
Got drafted as a catcher.
You came up with the Cubs?
Cardinals.
Cardinals, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, Cardinals.
Yep.
As a catcher?
As a catcher.
Yeah. So, okay.
Playing the catching position. I don't know if I was quite a catcher.
With Oakland, you came over as a catcher, which they converted you.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be interested to hear Billy's thoughts on that because we had such a deep catching core with Zook, Landon Powell. Those were the guys immediately, in my
Draft area, your system coming up.
Right.
Prospects. So it says here you were going to go to Cal State Fullerton.
I never planned on going.
You
But
never
yes,
did.
I did sign.
Okay, so you wanted to use that
Yeah.
as a part of
leverage.
for draft money and
Yep.
draft status. Okay. And then the Cardinals picked you up 2003, first round, 28th pick.
Yep. It was a surprise to everybody.
Bonus baby.
I mean,
2003, $1 million.
close. Yeah, it was.
So let me guess. There was probably a few of those guys in the 3s, in the 5s, maybe even the 6s.
You talking about hundreds of thousands or millions?
No.
In the top. I mean,
Top 5, top 10.
Young was like the number one overall.
Like $6 million or something. I bet.
I don't remember,
yeah.
but he got a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, slightly below slot money, maybe slightly above slot money. I don't remember at the time. However, it was a surprise because the talk was late second, early third. So we were not expecting to get a call in the first round.
You thought you were going to go sandwich pick or
No,
early second?
late second.
Oh, late second.
Early third. That
Wow.
was the talk.
Wow.
And
Now, for all those kids that don't know, the talk, where does that noise, who's creating that noise? For a high school kid,
it was
with
the
his
scouts.
family? The scouts.
Yeah, so the scouts, the scouts talk to the cross-checkers talk to the team, and internal discussions, get passed down to the scout, the area scout, who's looking at you and who's scouting you. And, they have a board of guys that they want. And so it's basically, from my understanding, it's like, okay, based off of what other teams need during this draft and what we need, we're thinking late second, early third.
And then you go in the first round.
Surprise.
Crazy. Phone rings.
Yeah, we had a little get together. This was before anything was done on TV, right?
Sure.
It was all
I remember my brothers.
on the internet.
Yeah.
And so we had to pull up. We had to make sure we had internet first. And so we went to my uncle's house and we were.
No one called you
Yeah, they called me
afterward, or you knew through the internet first? Or?
Before. No,
They call you ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They called me ahead of time.
And then you saw it.
And then we heard it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then we heard it.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you what the conversation sounded like. All I know is that they were like, "Hey, this is so and so from the Cardinals." Maybe it was Walt Jocketty or somebody, and we're thinking about taking you, pick 28. You want to be a Cardinal? Absolutely. Let's
What are
do
you
it.
feeling in that moment?
It happened so fast. And excitement for one, nervousness because it's becoming real. I had confidence in myself, so I don't want to say I knew I was going to get drafted, but I had a lot of confidence.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
I was ready.
Like you
to go
say,
to
you
the
weren't going
next
to
level.
college. You're ready to go.
I didn't want to go to college. If they would have offered me $100,000, I probably would have signed because I didn't.
Either way, you weren't going to
I
college.
wasn't going to
Not
college.
going to school for you.
No.
Yeah.
Just elation, like just a deep sigh of relief after it happened. Like, hey, it's finally happening.
Let's go.
Let's go. My mom had to help me. She had to sign the contract with me.
Right.
I was 17.
Right. You're minor. Okay.
I wasn't.
Yep.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, we had a playoff game that day, so we couldn't.
Now you got to go play after that.
we
Now
had to
you
go play.
drafted. Wow.
Yeah. And I tell you what, man, we were playing Long Beach State in the semifinals against Arlington, Riverside, Arlington. And of course, draft day, you get drafted in the first round, and then you got the whole other
Now they know.
side of the stands.
Now they know.
I get up to bat. Overrated.
Oh yeah.
And it
What'd you do that game?
I think I was. I hit a double. I know I hit a double. Had a couple walks. And
Were you playing? Catching?
no, I was.
Because we got Coach's kid.
I think I was playing third base.
And you're still playing under Coach's kid?
Oh yeah.
Still
I
daddy
didn't,
ball?
I didn't catch all year.
And you
I caught double headers.
Everybody, I just want you to hear that. And this will be probably later on. Daddy ball runs so deep that here is a prospect nationally, gets drafted in the first round, 28th pick. They want him to catch because when St. Louis wanted you to catch, right?
Yeah.
They can see with their eyes, out of all the eyes that they have and experience that they have, that your route as a left-handed hitting catcher,
Right.
that's a quick route to the big leagues. They want to get you there. Obviously, everybody liked your bat.
Yep.
And you're not even catching on your own high school team when you get drafted as a catcher in the first round.
Yeah, it was wild.
Then you go play a playoff game that night, you're not even catching.
I'll tell you this. The catcher that we had, catching-wise, was a better
He was a
catcher.
dude. He was a dude.
Without a doubt.
Oh.
Catch and throw with the best of them.
Oh, he was a dude.
He went on to get drafted and,
All right.
and played in the minors. But yeah, as far as catching goes, I've always been in the believer of putting your best 9 on the field.
Okay, so wait, is this what you're saying? That it was a good move?
I believe so.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That was the right move. Okay, I take it back.
We'll get into the coach later.
Oh, okay, so there's more there.
There's a lot there.
All right, so now here you are in the St. Louis Cardinals system, and you have a pretty good rookie ball. Anytime you hit for an average your first year playing pro ball, swinging with bats, you hit 291, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, 291. And then it says here you exploded in A ball. 04,
Yeah.
313, and with the 445 on base percentage. You're on base 45% of the time. Your first real, full season.
I missed a little bit
You
of
missed
that.
some?
I was
Did you
in
get hurt?
extended spring training. Yeah, I think my elbow was a little bit banged up. But I missed the first month maybe. But then when I got out there, yeah, it was good. I had a good year. I was confident. I had some good older guys that took me under their wings.
You had some bats.
One of them is involved with this company called First Form. His name is Sal Frisella.
Who's the dude?
Sal Frisella.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a
Yeah.
baseball lifer.
You know what?
That sounds like
that
a
was
lifer.
He was a baseball lifer, and he had a freak accident that year, 2004, and it derailed his career.
Whole career.
His career was
I
ended.
hate injuries, dude. I hate injuries. I hate it. That's a whole nother thing, but we'll get into that. And then it seems like that was it. You got traded.
Super weird.
Quick.
Super weird. After
Yeah,
my first full season. Now, mind you, they had Yadier Molina, right?
True.
So no matter how quick I can move up through their system, I think they knew they
Yeah.
had their guy,
Yeah.
right? So,
But you also weren't a major league catcher. You were a major league first baseman.
right.
But we never know. That's what, quick side note, no one has the crystal ball. Like when my brother went to the front office to work for the Yankees, he said oftentimes that the ownership would turn to him and go, all right, Eric, here's all of our drafts. Here's all of our prospects. Tell us who's going to be a big leaguer. No one's got a crystal ball, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to go out there and do what they do, right? So pretty good trade. The Oakland A's get you and Don Herring, we call him,
Yeah, Don
and Kikito.
Yeah.
Kiko Calero. Shout out to Kiko if we ever see you again. Kikito. And obviously the A's sent Mark Mulder.
Yeah.
Before knowing he was going to have the back issues and the issues that he had. Mulder was a dude. I think he won 18 or 19 games for him that first year. And right here, it says, for Oakland GM Billy Beane, Barton represented exactly the type of player the A's valued. Patient hitters, high on base percentage players, an analytical offensive approach.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, dude, I won't go through all of this, but that I learned about you, and I want to confirm this with you and see what your thoughts are, is you are touted and viewed upon both amateur scouts and now pro scouts who are looking at you, comparing you to a big league level when you're in the system, as an intelligent baseball player. Did you view yourself that way?
100%.
Yeah.
Both. I think baseball IQ is a big topic and one of the main reasons why we're doing this podcast.
For sure.
I was taught at a very young age.
By who?
Mark Ward was the name of my coach.
That sounds like some big 6'5", big old back type dude.
No. He's probably 5'11".
5'11"?
Yeah,
6 foot?
5'11". solid. Grew up in, I want to say, Lenox, California, which is not a good part of town. But he was also the father to the catcher on our team and my second high
Oh
school.
my gosh. This dad thing runs deep.
Favorite coach of all time.
Okay.
Favorite coach of all
Okay.
time. Had him first as a coach when I was 12. All-Stars. And
Did he have any pedigree? He had pedigree? Did he have pedigree? Pro pedigree? Or just a baseball guy?
God, did he get to the minor leagues? I'm going to have to ask him.
But he was just a
I'd love to
baseball
have him on.
guy. He was a coach. Taught you how to play the game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He wasn't this coach that was going to slap everyone on the butt and
You're
say,
getting it raw. You're getting it real.
You are going to
Straight
get
up.
it raw. Like,
Can't lie to these players.
so much so that when I was 12 years old, right? Like, my travel ball didn't start till 12 years old. So after, Pony League, All-Stars.
Real quick, I hope everybody listening heard that. His travel ball didn't even start till 12 years old. Skip that.
We'll get to travel ball. But he was my coach from 12 until I graduated high school. And so for those 6 years,
That's an important chunk of time.
it's huge development time between, when you're 12
Yep.
to when you graduate high school. I mean, they're taking you from raw
Yep.
to hopefully a polished high school player.
You get to 90 feet, 60 feet, 6 inches, fences move back. Now you're playing the game the same dimensions that they play it, at least on the infield side of it.
Yeah.
Obviously the bigger fields in pro ball in college. But
Yeah.
that's the same.
He taught us why we do things, and we drilled and we drilled and we drilled on why we do it, how we do it the right way, and understanding the game from different perspectives, which in turn leads to having baseball intelligence, having that baseball IQ that I prided myself so much on. It's seeing plays before they develop, right? Knowing what you're going to do, and the most basic fundamental stuff, knowing what you're going to do before it happens.
And I'm sure as you got drafted and got into pro ball and started playing at different levels with different teammates, now the cream of is rising to the top. I'm sure you noticed that all of your teammates had that baseball IQ.
False. Talent.
I was setting you up.
We
for
all
that
had
one.
talent.
Reason I say that is that my brother, Eric Chavez, by the way, 6-time Gold Glover, Silver Slug Award winner, has often said, and I've heard him say that, and I know it's true, I watched it growing up, that everything he learned about being a ball player, how to carry yourself, the why, just a way to be, right, when you're competing, was taught to him by Mike Epstein, who was a former Oakland A, was a former big leaguer. His son Jake was a high school teammate of ours as well.
Where at?
In San Diego.
So Southern Cal.
SoCal.
Good baseball in SoCal?
Well, but you know where we were going growing up? Let me tell you where we were going growing up. We would put together these travel teams. And there's a whole another side note about how my dad got kicked out of the Little League.
Yes.
For, he took his son, Eric Chavez, his best friend, Eric Munson, who was a first rounder with the USC Trojans, former teammate of ours. They recognized very quickly, well, really since T-ball.
Yeah.
And there was always Eric and Eric growing up. They were just killing everybody. They were far better than everybody. That they needed more of a challenge. And then they ran into Mike Epstein right around 13 years old. And you know the progressions, right? You go to like pony ball. Well, they skipped pony altogether right after Little League, and then they went to this travel thing. And my dad had gotten together with Steve Munson, because in San Diego, the two famous kids growing up was Eric Chavez and Eric Munson, Eric and Eric. And every level they were dominating. They needed more competition, so they were finding and looking for more competition. They had to go up north, Orange County.
Of course.
And they ran into this tryout. I don't know how. Mike Epstein, former major leaguer, played in the 70s, Reggie Jackson, Oakland A, won a World Series, had tryouts. They went up there, they tried out. They both made the team. They played for Mike for like 4 or 5 more years. My brother often credits Mike Epstein with teaching him how to play the game of baseball.
Yep.
Like everything he learned, I think how he worded it was, everything I learned about being a big leaguer, I learned from Mike. At 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, right? Like that how to play, how to carry yourself, you know.
It's a big development age.
Big development age.
12 to 18. There's a lot to learn. How to play the game properly, knowing
how to carry yourself.
Yeah.
How to carry yourself in and out.
That in high school, I think that was
that you know, just little examples, right? Like scoring from second on a ground ball. Like where you don't think it's a big deal, but no, you got to score on that. Like we don't score that run, we lose that game. That guy doesn't get and later on in pro ball, he doesn't get the RBI that he should have, right? And that's when you really start to hear about those things is like, yo, what are you doing?
And it goes, I mean, yeah, you got to score on the ball, but what are you doing prior to, right? What's your secondary look like?
Do you know how to do that?
Are you looking at the catcher? Are you reading the catcher? Are you trying to pick up pitches from the pitcher? They were tipping pitches at 12 years old. We started
picking it up.
We started picking it up, and our third base coach, favorite coach of all time, Mark Ward, he would he would have a verbal cue on what it was. If you heard it on second base, 1 look, 2 look, like just things that allowed you to be a better baseball player mentally.
Yeah, things you don't really think about at that age. I remember one time, and then we'll move on, but I played with Greg Bochy, who's Bruce Bochy's son. And there was one time we were on our travel team. We became the San Diego Crush, right? And I was a pretty good little pitcher. I knew how to mix it up and down, in and out, back and forth. And I had a really good changeup. And they go, what's that pitch you keep throwing every time you turn your head? I go, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. It's like the third inning. And then what I would do is, as I go through my motion, I'd always look to the right. And then when I was throwing my changeup, like, there it is. And I had no idea I was doing it, right? So now, 4th, 5th, and 6th, 7th inning, I'm like fighting my head, just throwing a changeup, right? So I mix in a couple deeks or whatever.
Well, as a pitcher, someone tells you you're tipping pitches, now you're totally screwed mentally, because we all know pitchers are unique.
I learned from my brother. I don't know how it was for you. They were playing the Mariners, and they had a young rookie, and he was really good, and they got him. He said he waited till after the game, and then he told whoever was the catcher at the time, maybe Dan Wilson or somebody, just so you know, they got him first, but just so you know.
Wait, so you're telling me that they're letting the other...
After the game. They get him, and they said, just so you know, a little common courtesy. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I know he did that. And that existed, that was probably, that's when they were rocking and rolling, man. When he was dropping 30 a year. So that was probably like 04, 05, somewhere in there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, now they have it all on MLB Network.
Yeah, everybody
Everyone's
knows.
dissecting it.
Yep.
Yeah. Zoomed in HD camera.
Yeah, you name it. September 10th, 2007, you make your Oakland A's Major League debut.
Yeah.
Tell me about that day. What's going on?
Yeah, we were finishing up in the playoffs. We were in the semifinals playing against the Salt Lake Bees.
Who's your manager?
Tony DeFrancesco.
Tony D.
DeFrancesco.
Barty! Barty!
Another manager who was very big on playing the game the right way. He was not a quote-unquote soft coach. He was very vocal with his players. And as somebody who grew up playing under those types of...
You probably responded well with that.
100%.
That's what you needed, yeah.
It's called accountability,
yeah.
Right? In my mind, it's called accountability, and they're trying to push you to play up to the level you're capable of. But anyways, we had just got done. I think it was Game 5 of the semifinals to go to they call it the Bricktown Showdown, which is the winner of the Pacific Coast League versus the winner of the International League, which is AAA playoffs.
Are we talking Bricktown, Oklahoma?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, Oklahoma
Good
City.
Good spot. Shout out. Bricktown is a good spot.
Bricktown, great stadium. Great stadium.
Good hangout.
And so, now it's where the A's play, and we were in Sacramento. And so we're walking, we were celebrating. I don't remember what I did. I know I had like 3 or 4 home runs that series, and it was just a really good series for us as a team and for me personally. we get back into the clubhouse. We're all celebrating, and you know, all coaches do it differently. Sometimes they do it privately, and
Yeah.
this did not happen to be private. It was we were all celebrating. Tony comes in and you know, gives a little speech to us, tells us congratulations or whatever, and that's where he told me that I was getting called up.
That's a great environment.
So awesome environment.
Yeah, you're taking a champagne bath and winning the championship.
I don't know whether to keep celebrating with my teammates. I was young. I was 22. I just turned 22, and now I'm a chicken with my head cut off because I'm like, I want to celebrate, but I got to go pack.
Yeah, right. Where's the team at? Where's Oakland at?
I don't know where they were that night, but they were going to be in Seattle the next day.
So you were going to Seattle? Jumping on a plane. Okay.
Easy flight.
Because it's a short drive from Sac, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I were to go to Oakland.
Right, that was my point. Yeah.
So I called my mom, let her know, called my dad. Obviously, they had to book flights, and it was a ruckus. So I make my debut. The next day, September 10th. You know, obviously I've always shown up to the field early.
So you flew in after the game, or you flew in the next day?
I don't remember. I think I flew in the next day.
Flew in the next day.
I think.
Did you go to the Fairmont?
Yeah, went to the Fairmont.
Okay.
Awesome hotel, Fairmont
Olympic.
Fairmont Olympic.
Yes. Pike Street. Well, near Pike Street.
Right next to Louis Vuitton. I knew that. That's all I knew. I'm in the big leagues. I get to this hotel, and I'm like, wow, there's a Louis Vuitton store right across the street.
Are you thinking about buying something already?
I was staying in a Red Roof Inn not too long ago. And get to the field. Have no idea what I'm doing.
Know anybody?
Yeah.
Who's first dude to come up to you?
No idea.
Just
everything happened.
Awesome.
Everything happened.
Can you feel your legs?
No, absolutely not. But I wasn't I was nervous. I'll just put it this way: I was nervous up until the game started, and once the game started, all the nerves
now you're playing
went away.
ball. Now you're playing ball.
And because
were you in the lineup?
I was in the lineup.
Let's go.
I wasn't
first base.
First base.
Because you converted. One of the first things that Oakland did is take you from a catcher to first base.
Yeah, so 2005, a month of 2006.
That's a good point. I never thought about that because you did mention there was a pretty good influx of young catching talent already in the organization, like Zook and others.
Yeah.
And then I read here that they wanted to prolong your career because they really liked your bat. So one of their first decisions was to move you over to first base.
I was a hitter.
Yeah.
I wasn't a catcher. That's just where that's the position I played.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a hitter. So
you're in the lineup, first base.
Batting practice.
Okay.
Got a funny story, and I'll drop names because it's not a bad
It's
story.
necessary.
Yeah. So
this seems like
my first batting practice in the major leagues.
Seems like a big league story.
And I'm starting. So I don't remember. Maybe I was in the second group hitting because they do it by order, right? And after I get done hitting, I go out and take live ground balls at first base. You know, understand the field and how the ball moves or whatever.
God, do we have anybody to hit you fungos that year?
I'm trying to think. 07 was
Latch.
I think Wash. Was Wash there in 07?
No.
Whatever. All I know is I was taking ground balls with Dan Johnson.
DJ.
Dan Johnson, mind you, was the first baseman for however many years prior.
You just took me back with that name.
So I get done taking my ground balls, and Dan Johnson's taking ground balls too. And I go up to Dan and said, "Hey, Dan, you know, I'm done taking ground balls. You know, typically in Sacramento, I would either just stay at the position and field off live, or I would go shag in the outfield. What should I do? Like I don't know what I'm doing."
Right.
He looked at me and he says, "Figure it out yourself, Rook." Needless to say, Dan didn't start another game that year or ever again with the A's at first base.
The side note?
Side note. Yeah. So I ended up figuring out what I was supposed to do. So I think I just ended up staying at first base, taking.
So your response was, "Sure, I'll just stay here."
Yeah. I'll just stay here. Yeah.
Not your best interaction
Look,
right out of the gate, right?
and and we've talked about
Yeah,
this
we've talked about this
many
plenty.
times,
Yeah.
that I've never, from my memory, been the type of person that if someone is going to play over me, that I'm going to do anything to be rude or whatever. Like, I want the best night on the field, right? Like, we're all teammates.
Sure.
I understand it's a business.
Yep.
I did not understand it at the time until later
So
in
it
my
didn't
career.
seem like a typical pay your dues rookie. It seemed
Bitter.
like bitter, defensive,
He was bitter.
or defensive maybe as well, right? I know
Probably both.
you're a dude. You're
Yeah.
coming up. You got a stick. You play where I play. You get called up. You're in the lineup right away. Like, yeah, I hear you, and that happens. That's why I came up with my saying. I'm a pastor now, but I tell people don't get bitter, get better.
Yeah.
I just the game taught me. I saw a lot of good people just suck that bitter straw.
Yeah.
And just continue to stay bitter.
I mean, I'm guilty, right? When I ended up getting sent down, I went through it.
Yeah.
But
So then you already answered that. You stay the rest of September.
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah.
Now you're the dude coming in the next year and play 159 games. That a baby? That's a lot. Hit 273 your first year. And then there's even a year, maybe not your first year. Maybe
No.
What'd you hit your first year?
I hit my first full season.
Yeah.
Like 226.
Did you get a full load of
Struggle.
at-bats? Over
Yeah.
500?
Yes. Close.
Okay.
Close.
Got a full go.
I got a
what
full-
did you learn? Because now, here you are, a stick. This is important to me.
Right.
Your whole life, you're a stick.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, you can hit. First year in rookie ball, hit. First year, first long season minor league ball, you hit over 300. Everywhere you go, you're hitting. You just explained to me how you 3 or 4 homers in the championship series.
Yeah.
And then you get called up. Now, for the first time in your life, you're hitting 220. Over 500 at-bats for 6 months. What was that like?
It was rough. That's the first time in my baseball career, from the time I was little to the time in 2008 when I had my first full season.
See, this is what I realized too, and this is why I bring it up. I very quickly realized in the role that I was in, right? And I just wanted players to get the most out of their careers, make the most money they could, be the best that they could be, and win as many games as we could, and hopefully take that ultimate champagne bath. That was my goal. Every year, that was my goal. I just wanted to win, right? And we lost my first 6 years we were in the big leagues. So, you were there with me.
I was there, yeah.
So, you know what that's like, right? Yeah. And now I started to realize as players begin to funnel through that a lot of them, this is the first time in their life they're experiencing failure on a level like this. And that's where we get them. That's where we now have to, a guy's been on the bench for the first time in his life, never been a bench player. How do I do this? A guy was a starter his whole career. Now he's not. How do I stay ready? I have no idea how to stay ready. I remember young guys in the bullpen. I had a name, but I wasn't going to go there. That were starters, and then they got moved to the bullpen for the first time in their life. And they're like, how do I get ready? I'm like, you got to stay ready. And you have to figure out, like, you don't have all that time you had.
Right.
Like, you got to stay in a different kind of state where you kind of prepare for those innings. That phone might ring. And a lot of them didn't even, there was no one to teach them those kinds of things, right? So now as you're struggling, hitting 220, first major league career, what'd you learn? Who's there for you? What are you leaning on? You on your own? You swimming in the ocean?
A lot of times it could feel like that. But I mean, look, we had Frank Thomas, but again, we've had these conversations before. When you're 20, I'm 22, right? My first full season, I'm still 22. And there's a feeling of, I don't want to call it imposter syndrome, But at the same time, there's guys that have been in the league 5, 6, 10,
Do
12.
I really belong here
Do I
on the
really
field
belong
with
here?
this guy?
And where do I fit in with asking for advice, right? You know, when you're behind the scenes, and we didn't have a lot of veteran presence when I came up to kind of help show the ropes. There were some veterans, but whether I didn't seek them out, which is probably the case. So a little bit of advice I'll give to anybody at any time is to ask questions.
That's right.
Don't ever be afraid to ask your teammates, your coaches, your opponents, anybody that you respect, anybody that you think may have something to help you, ask. The worst that they could say is no, or figure it out yourself, rook, right? Like,
I'll segue on that because you're right. We've had this, I can't even tell you how many times we've had this conversation, right? And you're one of the guys later on that I was trying to reach and trying to help as much as we could by teaching you that thing you just said of how to tap into all this that is now here. And because I'd seen others do it, I had done it. I didn't know anything either when I got there. And the difference is I learned how to build relationships. And I had this insight, though, that you might not have had. Because my brother was already a star, because he, and I'd grown up with him my whole life. And I'm different.
Yeah.
I kind of don't really, I care, but I don't care who you are and what you've done, but I respect what you've done, and there's honor to be shown. But, like, you're a dude like I'm a dude. I'm trying to figure it out too, right? And I'm not going to go disrespect anybody. Because a lot of being around the highest level of ball is honor. You just got to walk in a way that you know how to show honor, right? Like Tony D showing you honor in front of the team while you're celebrating, right? It's just showing honor to Frank for being Frank. We all grew up watching Frank with those big Reeboks and those cow-colored, and the Worth bat and hitting those 570-foot bombs in Pittsburgh. I remember the first time I went to Frank, Chop, come talk to me, man. Come talk to me. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, no. Come. Ain't nobody want to talk to me on this team. I'm like, well, you're Frank. Like, no. I'm like everybody else. I'm like, no, you're not, Frank. No, you're not. You're Frank. Like, no. Forget that. I'm just another dude. And I'm like, what? And why I'm saying that is like, you can over-respect them and you can under-respect them.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about. Like, you can almost be too careful because you're like, oh, you're so-and-so, and I got to get out of the way. Well, wait a minute, dude. This is my career too. Like, I'm a player too. I'm in the lineup too. We're on the same team, are we not? Like, and then you can under-respect them and disrespect what they've done and accomplished, even if they're a good guy or not, right? There's still a way to show that honor. And I think that just came from being around the environment and just kind of like building relationships with asking questions. Like, I remember for me, I was always enamored with Kendall. Kendall was like, anybody ever knows Jay, like, he's just different. Like, we're all built with like flesh and bones. I'm pretty sure Jason is built with like indestructible parts, if you know what I mean, right? And there was one time, he was on the plane doing his thing, and I went over and I sat with him, and he was just, Chavez, first thing he said is, Case, look at how sick I used to be. And he was all yoded up in Pittsburgh. You remember in those Pittsburgh days? Yeah. And he showed me all these highlights, and he had a scar on his catching hand. You remember that scar? And he had told me the story about how a guy was supposed to throw, I think it was a lefty, was supposed to throw a sinker, and it cut. And Jason was always a high elbow guy, and his thumb got underneath the ball. It took his thumb all the way back to his forearm. And I always wondered why he took like 5 swings in the cage. And then I started, oh yeah, you're banging on that thumb every time. And he's a grinder, right? Kind of guy you don't want to see in an alley. First guy you want to see in a fight with you.
Yep. And
just a grinder, right? And then I remember he was showing me the video of when he was legging out that ball, and he broke that ankle, and he kept running on it, and it just different, right? To me, it was like whenever I saw something happening, I was just going to be the fly on the wall, and I was just going to lend my ear to it. And when the opportunity came, so now I just got to pick my spot, because you know this, you picked the wrong time. Now everybody's on you, right? As my brother would yell at me, don't draw too much attention to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Is what he was trying to teach me. So I learned how to do that by like, oh, those one-on-ones. All right, nobody's around now. Let me ask that. Like Coco, I rolled out to Coco one time. I'm like, Coco, I don't know anything about being out here. But I noticed something about Coco. He was always taking fly balls live off the bat. Coco was notorious for being known for not putting in extra work. Right? But one thing I noticed about Coco is he was right after his BP. And everybody got out of the way. You know, the pitchers like to shag.
Favorite teammate of all time, by the way.
One of mine too.
Yeah.
Every pitchers love to shag, power shag, right? They're out of there. And Coke is getting live reads off the bat. First thing he told me, he goes, Case, when I first got here, he goes, I was second baseman. Same thing as you. Nobody to tell me how to do it. I had to learn how to do it. So what did I do? I started getting reads live off the bat.
Yeah.
Taught himself how to play center field. And just things like that, right? But that's that conversation we always have in terms of like, how do you tap into what's around you? Like I'll say it like this. Any student in school, it's not just your teacher's job to teach you. It is your job to make them the best teacher for you that they can. Any ball player on any ball club in America, it's not just your job for the coach to coach you. It's your job to make sure you're writing that coach like Zorro so that you can get the most out of that coach for you. And if it's not that coach that you can't get attention to, who around you, if it's getting serviced, a lot of times you hear stories where no one gets serviced, right? Only the top dogs get serviced and nobody else, right? If you're not getting serviced and you're not getting your beeps and you're not getting your flips and you're not getting your work in, somebody around you can help you get that work in. Because there's a difference between practice and getting your work in, right? And who is that person around you that can do that for you?
Got to ask.
Or that T. Or your opponents, or anybody you run into, right? And there's enough there, is what I'm saying. Because there's enough bad people in the game.
Yeah.
Bitter people in the game. But there's also enough information going around, and more now than ever. And that's all I was ever trying to share with you, man, because I watched Donaldson do it.
Yeah.
He was in the coach's room for a few years, and he was going about it all the wrong way every spring training, man. But again, he also had that destiny and that career, that position change thing happened. But it's what he did with it. And, we've had that talk many times. So here you are. You actually led the league in walks one year.
Yeah.
110 walks. That's pretty amazing, dude.
Yeah, I always had good knowledge of the strike zone. Shout out to Shooty Babbitt. One time, I don't know if it was on air or whatever it was, but he mentioned that I have little alligator arms. I got short arms. So coming up, I was always crowding the dish because
Your
I
arms
got
are short?
arms.
Okay.
I learned at a young age that, a ball off the plate, because of my short arms, I don't reach very well.
Oh.
Right? So I don't swing.
Okay.
So growing up, balls off the plate away, I wouldn't swing.
You're taking it.
Because I'm not going to hit it anyways. Which obviously led to...
I have a weird question. You and the way you were with your eye, and our friend Ted Barrett is out here in Queen Creek, legendary Major League umpire. And it's so fun when the two of them get together. Ted remembers the story of when Daric got kicked out of it. He's the one player he remembers getting kicked out of a game after the game was over, which is hard to do. But
twice. I've done it twice.
Twice. And Ted and Daric always go at it about that ball down and away. And I'm just wondering what popped in my head right now hearing you, like the way you stood over the plate, your arms and everything. How many challenges do you think you would have in today's game?
It depends what the rules were, but...
With today's rules...
I wouldn't be wrong.
On that pitch.
Well, you only get so many.
Right.
So, having baseball IQ...
I don't see you, regardless of how many your team has left, letting one go.
Let's just put it
if
this
you're
way.
convinced.
Look, if if it's a situation, right? I'll give you a perfect example. We're playing. I think we're playing the Yankees in Oakland. I'm hitting second, Suzuki's hitting third, and we're facing CC Sabathia.
Oh, jeez.
And CC doesn't need any help. But knowing what kind of, I believe it's CC, I believe Zook has had success against Sabathia. So where we were at in the game, there was a called third strike, an inch or two off the plate outside. And I get rung, and I think I get tossed. So strikes me out, slam my bat or do whatever, and I get tossed. Was it a ball? Yes. Was I mad that it was a ball? Yes. What was I mad the most about? I knew that the guy on deck owned whoever was pitching.
So you would have been on first base?
Yes, and we were losing. So I knew that the opportunity to score more runs was likely with whoever was hitting next and who was pitching.
So you're trying to win. You're winning the game.
Yeah.
You're thinking like a winning ball player.
Yeah, when I got tossed after the game, when Teddy was there, he wasn't behind the plate. But again, it was a third strike. It's typically always going to be strike three. Strike one and strike two, I still have more opportunities,
Sure.
right? Like,
Sure.
I'll question it, yes, but I'm not going to get super upset. But to end the game on a ball off the plate, at 2 inches, like, I'm mad. We just lost. And I'm going to let the umpire know that I'm upset. Like, what am I going to do? Accept the fact that the umpires want to go home and just go tip my hat and go have some barbecue or something in the clubhouse. No, like, I'm super upset that he just not only ended the game, but ended the game and, like, they don't even care. They're just like, let's get the game over with.
Right.
So, yeah,
They're out of there.
I got a little.
You got a little hot.
I got a little hot.
You got a little hot.
From time to time.
Sometimes it comes back up.
Yeah.
You were viewed widely as an intelligent, patient, analytical, team-oriented, and fundamentally sound baseball player. It sounds like the way the game is today. I just thought about this as you were kind of running over that at-bat. The way the game's played today and its value today, and quite honestly, first basemen aren't hitting as many homers like they used to hit, right? There can actually be more value for a player in today's game defensively that can get on base 45% of the time, walk close to 100 times a year, hit 270, 280, and do your thing. A team would value that in today's game, I would think, more than in the era that you played in, which was, what was the expectation on you when you played as a first baseman?
Actually, Billy Bean made.
I know Billy valued it, right?
Are you talking about Oakland specifically?
No.
Or in
I'm talking
general?
about just the game now.
No.
Because when you think broader than just one organization, right? And you look at, because part of the reason that the game values what they value now is because of the Oakland mindset, the Moneyball mindset, right? And I'm just saying, like, you ever thought about that? Like, because, okay, so let me say it this way. You got to hit 40 bombs, 30 to 40 bombs a year, hitting homers, and, here you are with defense, taking walks, great at-bats, winning baseball player, making all your plays, making great plays occasionally, good teammate, playing the game right, wearing a pitcher out with 7 pitches in that bat, 7, 8 pitches in that bat with that eye, fighting, fouling balls off, all those different things, right, that bring value to a club. And I'm just saying, like, back in your day, did it ever occur to you that the power aspect, right? Because where I'm going is, like, what they say about you is that the power never quite panned out to what it would be that they were hoping for, right? For a typical first baseman.
Yeah.
You think things could have turned out differently for you playing in today's game, being the type of player that you were and the type of big leaguer that you were?
I mean, look, we are who we are as players.
That's what I mean.
So.
Could be different in today's game versus the era where, hey, I'm going to go out and look for 30 at a corner.
I think your bat's going to play. If you can hit,
Any
you
era.
can hit. Any era. I wasn't a prototypical first baseman. I wasn't a first baseman. I was a catcher. So when I first came over, from the very beginning, Billy straight up told me more times than I could count, don't worry about hitting home runs. That's not what you're here for.
What are you here for? Did he ever tell you?
Get on base,
Mm-hmm.
have good at bats, get my walks, hit my doubles, and that's it. They traded for me to do what I already did,
What you were already doing.
which I was
The player
already
you
doing.
are.
They knew I wasn't going to hit 30 homers.
So let me ask you, did you know you weren't going to hit 30?
I don't think you ever know.
Were you thinking about it? Did you ever think about homers?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
How often were you thinking about hitting homers or driving in runs?
Anytime a guy's in scoring position, you're thinking about driving in runs. However, I think when things are not going well, like if you're not hitting for average, right? You're struggling. You're not getting your walks. You go through whatever kind of funk you're in. Well, now if you're not doing that and you're not hitting for power, well, now you're not doing either, right? But if you're able to just be you and you hit for average and use the gaps, you don't have to worry about the power.
Yeah, you're not.
Right?
You're
So
not.
when you're going well, I don't worry about the power.
You're not thinking about what you're not doing.
No.
Let me ask you this: how do you get into a slump? How do you get out of a slump?
That's a good question. I think you can get into a slump it's, what do they say? 20% of the time you're in a slump, 20% of the time you're locked in like crazy, and 60% of the time you're just battling, right? And so I think you get into a slump the same way you're hot. It's just, it could be something you're thinking. It could be, something going on off the field that nobody knows about that's distracting you from what you're trying to accomplish. And then how you get out of a slump, which is a very hard thing to do, or could be a very hard thing to do. And then I heard something Pete Rose one time was talking about. Say, hey, there's like 8 different things that you can do, or 6 different things that you can do when you're in a slump to switch it up. You can move up in the box.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can move back in the
Yeah,
box.
right.
You can get closer to the plate.
Right.
You can get further from the plate. You
Right.
can choke up.
Right.
You can move down on the bat. You can try different things. And what that does is, I guess it depends on what the slump is. Are you just striking out every time? Are you hitting missiles at people? Like, do you just need to change your contact point by moving in the box? Do you need to change your mentality? Chili Davis. One big way to get into a slump is try to do too much early in the season, right? So Chili Davis, as we spoke about before. And,
Yeah, he told me one time, he said, Chavez, he said, the first month of the year, all I tried to do was get my singles. I knew the power was coming. I didn't even try to hit the ball the other way. Stay on plane. Get my singles. I'm like, Chili, do they know that? Like,
just
help them with that, bro.
Find the timing, find the barrel, and just start slow.
Yeah.
Because look at all the people right now that, media is going to do media stuff. But you've got Cal Raleigh struggling. You've got
Early on this year, you're saying?
He said 150 with 7 homers.
Oh, I mean, he hit,
People are
how
losing
many
it.
how many did he hit last year?
I don't know, like 60.
Oh my God,
50
catching
something
most
every
of the
day.
time. Like, stop.
Then you've got Machado, Tatis. Guys are hitting under 220, right? With not a lot of homers. Tatis doesn't have a homer yet.
I once heard Houston Street say this in a pool. We were in the pool in that weird hotel outside of St. Pete, playing the
Haunted
Tampa,
Hotel.
the
Yeah.
haunted hotel.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna go there, but you went there.
Yeah, I went there.
There's some stories there.
Yeah.
I have a story there, but we were in the pool hanging out, because it's Florida, and it was me, him, and somebody else, and it was early on in the year, and everybody was. It was probably your rookie year before you got called up, and a lot of those guys were struggling that year, right? My opinion on that whole season and the veteran thing is, what I observed is they got old really quick.
Yeah.
Old and injured, and they were all hanging on. They were just trying to be healthy, really. They had given so much in the runs that they had the previous 3 to 4 years that, my brother was battling injuries like you wouldn't believe. And I won't even get into that. But I heard Streeter, it was like the second month of the year, And here they come off, I think the year before they got swept by the Tigers in the championship series, but they were a squad. And he said, everybody's panicking. He said, over the course of time, at the time he had 6 saves. And Streeter thinks that he's real smart, right?
Yeah.
So he thinks very like logically and like, very smart on that level. And he was like, but dude, we don't got to panic. This guy will hit his homers over the course of the year. I'll have my saves. Like it'll be there, right? And to me, there was something to that mindset of like, don't panic. It's 162. Now, granted, not everybody has the same amount of time to figure it out,
They don't
right?
have a big cushion, no.
Streeter did,
Yep.
but the idea is that you got to do what you got to do, and over time it'll show up, right? And that's what I learned from that.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll share with you. You go on to play in Mexico, and it says here the power show back up. You were a fan favorite. Did you know that in Mexico?
Yeah.
I always say this if you get to know Daric personally, he's sometimes more Mexican than me.
Agreed.
Speaks Spanish, talks about Mexican food. Now, what kind of tacos are we talking? We talking real tacos or white people tacos? So, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So you're a fan favorite. You won a championship.
Yeah.
You were an all-star and won a gold glove, right? And then, actually, you helped Puebla win their first championship in over 30 years. What was that like for the people of Puebla?
Oh,
In Mexico.
They loved it. They loved it. Mexico loves baseball. Obviously, it's a soccer country. However, the fans show up, and it's a different experience. But at the end of the day, it's baseball. We had a good team. We played together as a team. We had Niger Morgan. We had Chad Godin. We had Willie Tavares. We just had veteran American players that, look.
Know how to play the game?
We were all at the end of our careers.
Yeah.
Right? Our time in the States were done. So I think there was a level of playing with freedom that we had. Now, front office.
Different story.
Stressed out every time you lose. And we're just like, man, so it's a long season. But no, it was
Tranquilo.
Mexico. I loved my time in Mexico. I played down there 3 years. And we brought the championship back.
And your family went with you?
No, my wife did come down a couple of times. My first year, we weren't married yet, and so right after the season, we got married. She got pregnant, and then the next year, I was only there for a month and a half, and then I came home, and then 2018 she came out. Once or twice with our oldest, and was a bit scary for her because there's no car seats. You got to take taxi cabs.
Yeah, it's Mexico.
Or Ubers. And
yeah.
It's Mexico.
Yeah.
Right? It's not as bad as they say it is, but I had a great time.
Yeah. That's part of what I'm saying to you here is like when you look at the scope of your whole life, right? You were a top prospect in a system. You were a top prospect as an amateur in the nation, and then you were a top prospect, and you were the number 1 prospect in the Oakland A's system, from what I gather. You were traded for, right? For a star, proven star. You were a key piece in that blockbuster trade. Key piece. You were the key piece. A symbol of Moneyball philosophy, which has shaped the game today, right? You were the prototypical Billy wanted you, traded for you.
Yeah.
You were an elite plate discipline hitter and a player whose skills may have been more appreciated in today's games, the way the game's played today, than it was back then, right? And then so though that you never became maybe the star that you'd hoped to be or they had projected you to be, you still built a lengthy playing career, which is not easy to do, is what I'm saying, right? And then to reinvent yourself, after your time here in America and in the big leagues, then to go down to Mexico and reinvent yourself and continue that professional because you're being paid to play,
right?
That's a good career, bro.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with my career. I'm happy with my career. Could I have done things differently? Yes. I look back and.
So that's the question I have for you, right? I got some fun ones here, and here's some of the fun ones. Here's the first one. I guess I'll ask you, and you take this wherever you want to go with it. Looking back on your career, I wish I would have.
ask for help more.
I like that. We've talked about that, right? That's the one thing we've talked about.
Yeah, my ego, big ego, always wanting to solve problems by myself, not leveraging my teammates or my coaches. Yeah, ask more questions, ask for help more.
Absolutely. When did you know in your whole life that baseball was for you? When were you hooked?
4 or 5.
What just the little wiffle ball?
My mom would. So my parents divorced when I was 2. So my mom ended up being my t-ball coach, and she told me at home, whatever I could swing, I would pick up, and she would have to put socks in a little ball and just throw me pitch after pitch after pitch.
Yeah.
And t-ball. I mean, from what she tells me, I told her from the time I was 5 that I wanted to play Major League Baseball.
Player.
And all kids say that, right?
Sure.
And so it's one of those things where,
Yeah, but not all kids. The cream rises to the top.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the difference.
My kids tell me that now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, awesome.
And
Go
by the
for
way,
it.
as a former major leaguer, former star, former first round pick, all those things, are you able to project your kids now?
No.
Just keep that in mind, parents, okay?
Your kids are not going pro.
Just keep that in mind.
7, 8,
Let them be
9,
8 years
10.
old.
Yeah.
Make sure they have the desire. Meet them where they're at. Give them what they need.
Just to support them in what they enjoy doing.
So I think you answered this one already, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
My brother has a similar answer. Other than my brother's answer would be countered by Ron Washington, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think his career goes the way it goes defensively with the 6 gold gloves without Wash. He actually gave Wash one of his gold gloves, right?
Yeah, the 3rd one, I think.
And and Wash had a big impact on you as well.
100%.
Probably the best info coach on the planet ever in the history of the game. And,
Yep.
That's it. Like, come on. And so my question to you is, best coach you had growing up or professionally? You can throw them all in the same pool. Who's that one coach and why? Good. At least there's 2. It sounds like there's 2.
There's more than one. I'm gonna go with Mark Ward.
That's what I was thinking. I think he answered it.
I think he is the one that taught me the game of baseball.
Yeah.
And so there will never be another coach that does that for somebody. There's one coach that just stands out amongst all the other ones, and
Mark Ward.
He saw me from age 11. They tried to get me to play up with their all-star team, the older all-star team, and they wouldn't let me. And but once he got a hold of me, it was game over. And
shaped your life.
He either made you play up to your potential or he made you play scared. It was up to you.
We're going to find out what we got.
That's it.
We're going to find out. Yeah, it was a find out guy. He must have saw something in you. I would say that. He probably saw something in you.
I think he saw something in everybody.
Yeah.
But then he would challenge you.
To bring it out. Yeah, let's find out. I like that. That's what you got to find out. What is the role of a coach in a player's career?
I think it depends on the age. If you're talking about career, you're not really in a career until you're in pro ball, right?
Tell that to all these young kids that play it like they're going to play it forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
There's different.
They got the underwear on, they eat the baseball Cheerios. And I went and visited my buddy Eric, and he's a financial guy, but he always has loved sports. He's always around athletes, right? He knows a number of professional athletes, right? His 2 little boys, my God, bro, we were playing. That's why I got MLB. I was playing your boys the other day because of his boys. And everything in the house is a game of baseball. Diving on the couch, everything's a ball, everything's a bat. Go in the backyard, come on, throw me another one, throw me another one, throw me another one, throw me like a little dog with the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just have it wired that way. And when I went there, he was dragging me to the ballpark for like 6 hours, the whole chairs and the everything, man. It was just like, oh man, I hate this, but the boys loved it.
Yeah.
So, and why I'm saying that is now, whether you're coaching kids, you're coaching high school players, you're coaching travel ball, and I know it's different, but you're coaching professional players on the way up, and then you're coaching at the big league level. From the perspective of a coach, what should that coach, what kind of role should he be playing in a ball player's, in their interaction? What kind of role should he, what should he be doing as a coach,
I think
in your opinion?
what a coach should be doing at all ages is to help them develop at whatever it is that they're trying to get better at. There are different coaches for different types of players, right? So you have pitching coaches, hitting coaches, managers that kind of just manage
styles.
everything. I think the toughest part about coaching and why a lot of them fail is because you have to be able to reach them in a way that they understand. So you have to figure
Absolutely.
out what a lot of creatures of habits, whatever sport it is, we think about terminology. What do we have to tell ourselves to do a particular drill, to do a particular move, to do something specific? A coach has to figure out, what do I have to tell this kid that he understands,
So that he knows,
what to remind himself. I could tell you swing up, I could tell you swing down, and it can mean two different things, or it can mean the same thing to different guys.
Absolutely.
So I think that the role of the coach is to figure out.
They're 8.
They're 8.
8,
I
brother.
mean, at 8,
They're 8.
again, there's
They're
different
8.
levels. So if you're talking about 8-year-olds, it's one,
They're not pros.
Get them to enjoy the game. And 2, get them excited about learning the game, right? Make it fun. There's this coach. His name's Coach Ballgame, and he's all over social media, and he's all about teaching the youth kids. But he has a way of coaching that these kids just
respond. They
love.
respond. Absolutely.
Whatever his phrases are,
Yeah,
right?
I would say that was paramount. Like if you're coaching and your players aren't responding to you and what you're doing, you should take a look at that.
You've lost them.
Yeah, you got to get them. I'll share this with you. I know we might have different viewpoints, but Bob Melvin has forever shaped me in terms of any environment I go into. And I coached a little with the church. I coached a little soccer team. I didn't know anything about soccer. And first thing I coached was 8-year-old girls. And the second year they gave me they gave me 10-year-olds mixed boys and girls. I've coached Little League. I've coached travel ball. You came out there and did it with me a few years back. We just went to some of my 12U boys are now graduating, and you got to come and see some of them play. I've coached high school baseball, and I've coached all the way up in college to big leaguers. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, every environment I go into, Bob Melvin's message was so simple and repeatable that everywhere I've gone, it's applied. Which I don't know if you remember his 3 things, but it was play hard. It was a speech when he first came in after our other manager had been fired.
Chicago.
Play hard. I need you to do 3 things here. Play hard, have fun, and be a good teammate. And all we talk about, the 4th thing, was winning. I only want to hear winning talk. All we're talking about is, we're not talking about losing. We're talking about winning. We're talking about winning. And so everywhere I go now, I ask the kids 3 questions. Did you play hard? Did you have fun? And were you a good teammate? And it's really simple because it brings immediate self-reflection. And they're honest. They don't lie to themselves, right? Which I can't stand coaches who lie to the players.
Yeah.
Can't lie to these kids, can't lie to these players, right? I learned that. That's a different day, but I learned that in the big leagues too. What's the biggest difference? Might be obvious, might not be obvious, between your playing days and your non-playing days for you personally?
Wisdom, experience, reflection.
If you know what you know now and
Yeah.
think the way you know now, and you insert that back into when you were playing, different story?
Maybe
not the outcome.
Maybe not. Might not be a different story, but there'll be different intentions for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're in it, it's do or die. At least
100%.
when you're in it.
Yeah. Which is how I found value in the game, by the way. Here I am catching the bullpen. What do I know? I didn't play a day of pro ball. But when you are around you guys enough and you realize that these guys are at the peak of they're on Everest. they're tightrope walking.
Yeah.
And one day could be the day that their injury ends their career. They get the tap on their shoulder. You never know. And now you look up and that day and you're facing Felix Hernandez in his prime, Pedro in his prime, Randy Johnson in his prime, or Kershey is when I remember when you guys used to run around and play the Dodgers and you guys would circle it on the map. We got Kershey in 3 days. Everybody, all that kind of stuff, right? And so that's where I actually found value in the game, is realizing that you guys are that on point, and to come alongside you, help you relax, help you see what you are doing, help you kind of see what's around you, like get your eyes up, right? Like just think differently and like realize that like your at-bats aren't over yet. Even if one's over, you still got 3 more. Guys in the bullpen, right?
You look at today's game, there's a huge difference in today's game than there was when I came up. When I came up, you don't fraternize. You don't talk to the other team before the game. You're not out there messing around.
Yeah, we're not all friends.
It was a serious game between the lines.
Yeah.
Now it's a polar opposite. Now I think the guys now have some of it right as far as the enjoyment. You're seeing a lot more enjoyment.
Kids game fun, all that kind of stuff.
I think the Latin guys have brought a lot of fun back to the game, because you see it mostly with Latin guys and understanding their upbringing and where they come from.
Or the home run celebrations at the end of the dugout for the camera.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
Yeah. Now, look, I think there's a way to get it back towards, taking the game seriously and caring about your at-bats and caring about getting jobs done. And
that's right.
But
still having the fun.
Still having the fun.
Yeah.
But, towing the line of, hey, look, we're
going to war.
Professional.
That's right.
We're trying to win.
That's right. Yeah, I remember when Ken Griffey Jr., we were trying to say hi to some of our former teammates that went over to Seattle and coaches. Junior came over. Take him out to lunch. Go to lunch. We're not doing it. Go to lunch. He broke everybody up. And it's Junior. Ain't nobody saying nothing to Junior. You know what we did?
Shoot,
that's it. We're out. So Junior said it. The kid said it. So we ain't talking.
Favorite player of all time.
Ken Griffey? Oh yeah.
By far.
I'll never forget that day. It was like, and you knew. I'll see you later.
Well, it was during that time where I'm sure you're referring to Walk and Mike Sweeney. Yep. It took me 3 years of being in the major leagues to get the courage to ask Griffey for an autograph.
Oh yeah, is that right?
I asked nobody.
Did you talk to him first?
Nope. I asked Mike Sweeney.
Oh yeah, to ask him. You sent Mike over.
Well, I didn't have the courage.
Hey Ken, hey brother, how are you?
Hey.
Oh, I love you, man. How are you? Hey. Put in your own work. That's great. That's a good story. That's a great story.
I don't get starstruck.
Yeah, it's Ken Griffey Jr., brother.
It's Ken Griffey
Again,
Jr.
we all grew up watching him do his thing with the hat bag. With everything. All right, favorite top 3 teammates. Favorite top 3. Obviously, Coco
is number 1. Does it have to be in the big leagues?
No, it's up to you, dude. It's your career.
Oh, man. Stephen Vogt.
Voter. Shout out to Voter. Voter, we're coming for you for one of these.
And Dallas Braden.
I texted Voter, actually. Voter and DB. Did you know he talked about you when he was doing the broadcast? Because it was broadcast on Mother's Day.
No.
And my dad showed up. We cooked a meal for my folks, my mom, and my dad showed up. First thing he says to me is he goes, hey, the announcer for the A's. He goes, he was shouting out Daric. And it was Dallas. And he was referencing the last out and how you gave him the ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. So he was throwing you some props on TV on Sunday.
Yeah.
So.
Those are three teammates that are.
All right, now I'm gonna put you on the spot. Now you got to pick your top 1 out of those 3. What separates that one from the other 2?
It's tough for me because Dallas is a pitcher.
Not as much time, not the same rhythms.
Didn't have. I mean, Coco. Look, Coco batted first. I batted second.
So Coco.
So
Coco.
Coco. Playing with Coco as a teammate.
Absolutely.
No matter what, you knew he was going to come ready.
Something was going to happen.
He was coming.
You
ready
were
to
just
play.
waiting for something to happen.
If he was on
You
base,
couldn't take your eyes
absolutely.
off at the plate. Even if he didn't look good at the plate, you were still expecting something to happen.
He brought more than just what he did personally.
Yeah.
He brought an energy and
The way he played the game.
a feel to everybody.
The way he played the
else.
game.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why you can't talk to him about any like the prep and all that. You leave him alone.
Yeah.
Like you just let Coco go play and do his thing. Absolutely. He was ready because he was ready to play.
Ready.
Yeah. I don't want to ask you that one.
Why not?
I'm just picky. I'm being picky and
Okay,
choosy.
all right.
I've been picky and choosy the whole day. So, biggest misconceptions or misconception in today's youth, travel ball lessons, parents, coaches, players, when it comes to wanting to be a baseball player. What would you say is the biggest misconception?
No matter how much you spend on gear,
The-
kid is not going to get better with the gear itself.
With the gear that he's wearing. So don't sell him the big league.
I would say this. Take a year. Take the amount of money that you would spend in a year on the new bats, the new oven mitts, the new whatever, the new drip. Invest it into a coach, somebody that can help him develop outside of the field. Someone that can make him actually better, him or her,
That's right.
whatever sport it is, better. So training, travel ball, we'll get into travel ball, but let's just say travel ball has it backwards. There's too many tournaments and not enough days developed.
That's right. Yep. That's a whole episode. My brother and us, my parents couldn't afford pants.
Yep.
So we hit the field in jeans, just so you know. And you look at my brother's career and all he's done, right? And so to that point. 2 more. Go back to your last moment walking off the field, probably in Mexico, as a player. Do you know in that moment, that's the last time I'm going to lace them up? And if so, or even if you don't know, but now you can look back and remember that was the last time I laced it up. What were you thinking? And it doesn't have to be about my career, whatever, but just go back to that moment where you were walking off the field for the last time, because your whole life you've been strapping it up.
I didn't know it was my last time.
You didn't know it was it.
No.
So what were you thinking? Go back to that guy. So you have no clue. Now you're walking off that field.
Man,
Where was your head at?
My head was to get home to my wife.
You were ready to go home. Yeah, that's fair.
It was the end of the
Absolutely.
season.
Dude, there's many times at the end of the year, I
Yeah.
just couldn't wait to get home. I had a whole truck pack one year with a bed in it, sitting in that lot. And as soon as I hit it, and Nomar stopped me, and his wife, she was just some lady, not very famous, but he came over and we had some good conversation. And here I am. I felt like stupid, right? Because here I am in my Toyota Tacoma with 150,000 miles on it, getting ready to do the 12-hour drive. And I'm leaving, and there's Nomar. And he came over, dude, gave me a really big, genuine hug, dude. I haven't talked to him since.
You knew it was over.
No, it wasn't my last time, but I'm just referencing that thought of the season's over, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But so that's a good point too, is you never know. Because even then, even though it was the last time, like since then you never laced it up.
I was 33, man. I wasn't
33.
ready to lace him up.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I wasn't ready to hang him up.
But your mind was on, I want to go home and be with my family.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thought for.
It was a disappointing end. I think we just lost in the playoffs, and
That's something we could talk about that one. That is one of the most worst feelings in the world, is in the playoffs. But all right, last one.
But the most exciting feeling being in the playoffs.
Go, stop. That's why it hurts so damn bad.
Yeah.
Stop it. I don't even want. You're gonna get. Don't even start talking about the Kansas City game to me, brother. You got me here. All right, stop. I'll tell you about where I was sitting in the. I don't even want to.
I didn't experience that one.
I'm sitting in the. Oh my God. You know who? Okay, quick Coco story. We had a bunch of guys on that team that did not want to play together, and we limped into the playoffs, dude. And we had a weird mixture of a roster because they had flipped the roster. They had traded Cespedes. They had brought over Lester. We had Adam Dunn. They buried Adam Dunn.
Dunn, what a name.
We had Adam Dunn. They buried him. By the way, that was his only playoff game in his career.
Is that right?
He had never been in the. There was a puddle in Texas when we clinched. Sonny Gray bailed us out last game of the year.
What a
put us
dog.
on his
He's a
shoulder.
dog, man. I
And
love
then we had to
Sammy.
watch a game. We had to stay and watch a game for somebody to lose to get in, and we limped in.
Oh.
And we lost 21 out of 23 to get in. That's how bad. We had a meeting in Seattle. Nobody wanted to play together. I even spoke up. My heart was bad. You know, you shut up. You're just here to do your thing. I even spoke up. And I said something. And, you know, I wanted to win. Honey, I'll be there in a second. And, yeah, we're almost done. We're wrapping up. And so, man, this is emotional, bro.
Yeah.
And so we didn't want to play together, you know, and we had these talks with Lester. Then Dino couldn't throw anybody out. They had all those guys that could run, and they were panicking about Lester can't throw the ball to first base, pick anybody off, right? And so nobody had caught Lester well except for Dino, but they had panicked. So they have Giovanni Soto catch John. They have no rhythm. John's throwing a ball game. He never throws. In his own words, he goes, he saw them put together at-bats that they had never really put together against him, guys that he knew well. And we're winning in the 7th with John Lester. Mr. 150 pitches, complete game John Lester, big game John. And, you know, Soto got hurt. They'd scored quick runs on him. We're down. Dino comes in the game. They had a rhythm, bunch of zeros. Moss hits a couple bombs. Coco does some stuff. Coco gets hurt. Coco got hurt. Johnny Gomes comes in, smashes Sam Fold into the fence. Like, it was just a crazy game, dude. It was a war.
Yeah.
That game was a war. It was one of the most famous games in baseball history, right? And I remember having this feeling like the Lord was telling me, like, you need to let this one go. I'm like, we got it. We're up 7-3. We're going to Anaheim. I'm telling Abby, hey, meet me in LA in 2 days. We're going to play the Angels. And we felt like we were going to get the Angels. We knew we were going to get them. They were gettable. And then it all just started. Bullpen starts coming. We can't get it out. Flares are dropping. Balls are dropping. That's the famous ground ball past Donaldson that Salvador hit down the line, and we lost. And we had worked so hard just to get these group of guys, Samardzija, you know, we had Hamill. We had made that trade for their starters, and then Hamill was in the bullpen. So we didn't even do anything with Samardzija that day. I don't even think he was active in that game. And we just couldn't get him. We had worked so hard. Barty, I'd never had more conversations with players just going, it's right there. And you know me. I'm all perspective. I'm like, it's right freaking there. I don't care who you like, who you don't like. I don't care about all the moves. It is right. And then they came together, bro. They actually came together. Like,
After losing 21 of 23.
they actually came together for that game, and then just freak things happened, freak injury. Like I said, Coco got hurt. Coco played. I mean, I looked up at Coco, and I'm like, there ain't nothing like that. He gave us his beat through his body around, bro.
Oh,
So
he
I'm
did.
distraught. I'm at the chair, and I'm just head down. Coco comes over to me. One of the first people that came over, he picks me up and give me a hug. Like, give me a hug. Like, I was like, damn. Like, and all I could do, I beelined it to the bus, dude, and I sat on that bus by myself for like 20 minutes. Man. It was raining. I said, what the hell just happened? But that's the pain. All right, here we go. Last one, because I got my other dudes here. When is the moment you realize, because we are more than the game.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing this. What is the moment that you realize that life was more than just the game of baseball?
I think after I retired, I think I was forced to realize that. The game ends and
No more jersey,
like you're
no more team, no more squad, no more clubhouse, no more.
like you're searching for purpose.
Mm.
You realize baseball was everything up until it was nothing.
Wow.
So for me, it was retirement. It took me a long time after retirement to find purpose in life. And so many guys go through it, and it's both a pro and a con, right? Because I was just so focused on baseball forever. I thought that was my identity.
Yep.
Struggled with it. And I realized the game's going to go on.
Doesn't slow down for anybody, does
Nobody.
it? Doesn't respect anyone.
Nope. August 1st, 2017, I was still playing. My son was born. And then baseball really, I mean, it wasn't everything anymore. It was a lot, but it wasn't everything.
Everything. Life is more than just that.
But retirement really hit you.
Yeah. There's no prepping for that.
No, there was no backup plan.
There can't be.
No.
Yeah, you gotta go at it. You gotta give it all you got.
From the bottom to the back.
Well, bro,
Until
Chasing
next time.
it your whole life.
that was our first one.
Love you.
More than the game.